Right, hello everybody, how is it going? I hope you are all doing well, and welcome back to another video. And we are back on the workbench. Christmas is over, we're back on the actual workbench where I mainly do all this stuff. Obviously, as you know, the previous 3, maybe 4 videos have been, 4 videos actually, have been on the desk that pulls out from my bed. But we're back onto the designated workspace because Christmas is over, my Christmas tree has been put away, so we're ready to start doing some more reviews here again. And as you know already, I've got a new train to show you, brand new to our collection anyway. It arrived on New Year's Eve, and I'm pretty sure you know what it is, judging by the reading the title. It is obviously this, the Hornby Lord Nelson class with TTS sound, and this is also part of the Railway Museum range, which are basically locos that are preserved at the National Railway Museum in York. So if you go there, you will see this specific engine, Lord Nelson number 30850. So this cost us £179 off of eBay, which isn't too bad, to be honest. I was expecting a bit more, but the RRP on Hornby's website, I've got it just in front of me and I will put it up on screen, is £194.99, but it is out of stock, which is a bit of a shame. But I was looking around, and on Hatton's there's currently, as of filming this, 3 available on there pre-owned with a few different things. So there's one with a broken speedometer cable, one with missing instructions and minor marks, various different pre-owned ones, or you can also go on eBay. So I'll leave the relevant links in the description below to all the websites. But let's get on with looking at the actual box itself. So on the side we find the code. It says R3603 TTS BR late Lord Nelson class Lord Nelson number 30850 with sound, and obviously as you can see it says TCC fitted. Moving on to the back of the box, we have some brief information of the Lord Nelson class at the top, and then we have the information on the TTS sound. So pause the video if you want to read that. Now you can obviously see this was classified as a 7P, so fairly powerful. That is obviously the power rating 7, and then P stands for passenger. And then on here we have some very nice line drawings, and as you can see they were drawn in 2017. So this is a pretty new model, actually very new. So if we just get it out, I must admit this is a bit of a very snug fit. The box is a bit tatty, but doesn't really matter because it's the engine that matters, and this really is a snug fit. It does not want to come off. There we go. And obviously now we're just staring at a red box. So if we turn it around, you still can't see anything because the previous owner wrapped it up in this. So we'll just tip it like that and just lift this up, give it a bit of a shake, give it a bit of help there. There we go. So obviously here we are with the instructions, and hold on, the TTS sound instructions have got stuck inside the box. There they are. So we'll have a look at them before we look at the engine. So I'll just move that to the side. We'll have a look at the actual instructions for the loco itself. So just unfold them. So here we are. So you can obviously see it says Lord Nelson class 460 steam locomotive and tender, and general normal stuff you find on these instructions, general routine maintenance, running hints, everything I show you every time I review a Hornby steam engine, lubrication, accessories, assembly, body removal, tender, and all that good stuff. And then you can obviously see it says here about DCC ready and sound, and obviously that is the built-in area where the speaker would go. And then on the back it's just brake logs and all that good stuff. So you pop that down there and have a look at the TTS sound decoder manual for the Lord Nelson class. So this is basically pretty self-explanatory. It is just a manual with a load of information on the sound decoder, and when I mean a lot of information, I mean a lot of information, but we only care about this section here, the sound functions, and there you can obviously see a full list of these sounds, so pause the video if you want to read them, but the main ones I'm interested in are the whistles. They're the ones I like. Now, you have technically already seen this train running, as it is my new intro, and I've just knocked the camera, whoops, hold on a moment, as it is my new channel intro, which first appeared on my recent review of the Hornby Class 58, Hornby Helgen Class 58, and you would have seen it at the beginning of this video as well. So technically it's already on my channel, but you will get to see it properly. So next up we're going to take a look at the detail pack, and inside we obviously have the brake rigging, we have some cylinder drain cocks, I believe they are, separately painted, NEM couplings, and just your general stuff inside. No vacuum pipes, as I'm fairly sure they're already fitted to the actual model, but let's open it up inside here, there we go, and lift her out like so. There we go. Again, you still can't see anything of her, so I'm just going to lift her away and get her unwrapped. And there she is. Just pop that there and take that away, and as you can see, she is a really gorgeous engine in a fabulous BR green with lake crest. Just bring the camera down, absolutely stunning. So I'll change the camera angle and then we'll have a look at her in some more detail. So here we are with a closer up view of her, and we are going to take a look at her in some more detail, and as I always do, I'm going to start from the front and work our way back. So starting from the front, we do have a separately fitted handlebar, we have the number, and we do have some separately fitted lamp irons on either side of the smoke box door, and down here we have the shed code. We have a pre-fitted vacuum pipe. Sometimes these come in the detail pack, this one didn't, or unless the previous owner fitted it, not 100% sure, but it's there, separately fitted. You've got some more separately fitted lamp irons down here, 3s, you've got 5 in total, 2 up there and 3 down here, and you've got some lovely buffer beam detail, really nice riveting, and we do have, of course, sprung metal buffers, which is sort of what you expect nowadays, and we have the NEM pocket. Moving along the side of this, we do have the separately fitted smoke deflectors, as we obviously know, and all across this boiler we have 2 separately fitted parts. We have a separately fitted pipe, which at first I thought was part of the moulding, but at close inspection I can see it is moving, so that is separately fitted, and we have a separately fitted handrail just below it. I just move it more into a side-on shot, there we go. We do have a lovely bit of separately painted and separately fitted pipe work here. Not 100% sure what that might be, but it's there and it's really nice. It's the same on the other side as well. Talking of the model in general, the livery is really beautiful. It's a lovely shade of green. This BR green is beautiful, and I love this the banding on the boiler, absolutely brilliant. Got the tiny little black line and 2 even smaller red lines. It's just really well done, and the same thing can be said for the splashes. On the splashes, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but there is also a red line all along the running board, and you can obviously see the lining is also present down here as well. There are a few things I have a problem with this, though. One is this pipe. It's made out of very cheap plastic, and you can see I can bend it easily, and the same with the reversing rod. Normally Hornby use metal for their reversing rod, but this time again it's just really cheap and nasty plastic, and it doesn't really look particularly realistic either. I'm afraid that that's going to break soon, so that's a couple of things marked down, and it does get slightly better when we look up here. We do have metal safety valves, but then it does go downhill again. We have a plastic whistle and plastic piping underneath the cab as well, which again is that same horrible flimsy plastic, not nice. And another problem I have with this is some Hornby engines have interpretations of the valve gear, however this doesn't. So when there's gaps underneath the boiler, Hornby on some of their more recent models put interpretations of valve gear. However, this is not the case. It's just a massive slab of black, and if you can see in there, there is just a big Phillips head screw. Not the most realistic, I must say, but what can you do? Hornby decided not to do that, but down here, very nice, the coupling rods and everything, really nice. And at the back of here, you can see there's this sort of thing attaching them. I believe that's the speedometer. I think that is what that is. And you need to detach that to take the body off, which is a bit of a pain. So I'm afraid I'm going to bust it. I will show you how to take the body off, but I'm not going to take it off because I'm just afraid I'm going to break it. And I don't want to do that on camera. So I'm not going to take the body off like I normally do. But that's one thing you have to do to take the body off, and it's a bit of a pain. But they've included that. And that is obviously prototypical to the real life engine. So yeah. Up here on the running board, not 100% sure what this box shape is. Honestly, I have no idea. But one thing I don't understand is the chassis must be made of metal, because there's a fair amount of weight. I have got heavier locos, but there's an alright amount of weight considering the boiler and the running board are both made of plastic, which is a bit of a shame. It would be nice to have a die-cast running board, but still. Moving on to the cab, we do have glazed windows, which is very nice. You can see the number and the classification 7P and number 3850 beautifully applied, again with that lovely lining around that as well. We do have handrails here which are separately fitted, and separately fitted cab doors, and the same thing continues onto the tender, but I'll have a look at that in a minute because we are going to take a look at the cab, and this is when I've got to try and shine the torch in there. Well, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to turn it around because you can get a better view of the detail from a different angle. See if you can get that. So I'm trying to shine this torch in as best as I can. I think I've got that. I'll just try and see if I can zoom in on the cab. That's zoomed in onto the tender. No, that's not really the best. That's a bit blurry. Yeah, I won't bother doing that. I'll just try and do it from a distance. So we can see that there are some very nice separately fitted and separately painted. Oh, I'm just not the camera. And get it to focus on the cab. So you can see we do have some very nice separately painted parts, including these. The dials are very nice, but the water gauges are just gold bits. They don't have like the sometimes they have painted on actual what do you call them, the parts of the water which show you how full it is. I can't remember what the word is. So when you have like a jug and it says 100 millilitres, 200 millilitres, sometimes they do painted on ones like that, but it's just a gold bit. But it's not it's certainly one of the better cabs I've seen. Not the best, but it's one of the better cabs. I can definitely say that. So moving to the inside of the tender, which is a bit difficult when this is permanently attached, but yeah, what can you do? You can detach them, but I just can't be bothered right now because this is the 4th time I've actually attempted doing this review, so I'm trying to fit everything in, but I don't want to take forever. But I'm trying to get as good as I can. Just trying to get the lighting right. So one disappointing bit I do have with this, oh no, that's a bit too bright. One disappointing thing I have with this is, if you can just see over here, there is a sort of control over there. Sometimes Hornby pick them out in a different colour, and it's a bit difficult to see on the camera what I'm on about, because it is black and not colour, but it's this sort of column thing here and a little handle on the top. No idea if you can see that, but you also have the normal storage cupboards here as well, so it's a fairly decent inside tender, and every time I put my thumb in front of the camera it likes to focus on that. Apologies. Now, the coal load on this is probably one of the best coal loads I've ever had. It is removable, but I'm not going to, because I really like this coal load. It's one of the best coal loads. It's not completely full, and these tenders very rarely were completely full. A lot of the time they were just like this, half empty, and I think that is perfect. Moving on to the side of the tender, you can see that it is, again, just like the engine, a lovely colour, and the lining is beautiful as well. They've done a really good job, I think, of this particular livery. There are 3 engines available, one in Southern Green, this one in BR Green with Lake Crest, and I think the other one is BR Green with Early Crest. But as you can see, the Lake Crest, beautifully applied, no faults there, and it's just a really lovely tender. And there is also this weird hook thing at the top, which is very, very flimsy. You can get caught that with some clothes. When I was having a look over this before I started doing the filming, so I could get my notes down of what to review, my top got caught on that. A little string of my top got caught on that, so I had to gently edge and ease that off before it broke, which was just a bit of a slight issue. But anyway, on the top of the tender here, we do have this, which I would guess is some sort of contraption to do with the water. That is my guess. And then we have the hatches where the water would go in. And down the back of the tender, we obviously have the separately fitted lamp irons. Really nice. There's one at the top there, 2 down there, and lamps would also be attached to there. And we've got some steps which would help you get up, and another separately fitted vacuum pipe and some sprung buffers. And the NEM coupling is also beautifully applied. Just twist it around so we can get a look at the other side of the engine. As you can see, that weird piping is also there, and this I don't think was on the other side. Let me just check. Oh yes, it was. I missed that out. We've got a bit of moulded plastic detail on there, which very nice to see. And the other final bit of detail is this other bit of plastic tubing down here, which is slightly different to the other side, but it's still there. And again, it is plastic. Would be nice to see metal, but it's fine. Now, obviously, I'm not taking the body off of this, so I'll do a quick talk about the mechanism. I've watched a few videos of this, and it has full proper bearings. All wheels are sitting into lovely bearings, which is brilliant. According to Hornby's website, inside there is a 5-pole skew-wound motor. Not sure if it has a flywheel. I'll try and find out. And we have all metal wheels on the tender. I just turn it on its side very gently. You can see we have metal wheels all here, and all of these wheels pick up, as you can see by these copper pickups. If I just get that in shot, you can just about see the copper pickups, which are these just below the screw, the sort of long thin copper wires. And to undo the model, take the body off, I'll just show. You undo that screw in there. I can just get that to sit still. You undo that screw in there, and you undo a screw just underneath this bogie right there. If you can see that, just there. Here's a screw there which you also undo, and then, like I said, you have to unplug what I think is the speedometer. I'll try and find out what it is, but you have to unplug this before taking it off, unless you want to rip it off, which isn't the best of ideas. I would highly suggest that. But it's a shame I can't, well, I can take the body off, I just don't want to risk it. But we'll go down to the railway and see how she performs and listen to her sounds. And I'm saying this now before we even look, the sound quality. So let's get down there and have a look at her. So here we are down at the railway, and as you can see, she is just over there, and she is currently programmed as number 21. So I'm going to do number 21, and then to start her off, this is on the Hornby Select controller, by the way. I don't know about any other controllers, but on the Hornby Select controller, in the top right hand corner there's a button that says function, and then you press 1 at the same time. So pressing them down will start the noise together. So as you can hear, there is her noise. That is really nice, honey. We're going to blow a whistle. So that's a long whistle. Try a short whistle. And then there's also this whistle. So you've got 3 different lengths of whistles. So I'm just going to nudge her up on the controller and get her moving. So there we go, and off she goes. I say off she goes, very slowly off she goes. And I must admit, that is a terrific crawl. That is a really good crawl, fantastic. Look how slow she's going, and she's running so smoothly as well. And she has got all-wheel pickup and all tender wheels pickup, so she shouldn't cut out. Hopefully, anyway, she shouldn't cut out. So here she goes, just going over the first, coming up to the second. It's normally about here where an engine stall, but she's looking fine. That is fantastic. Look how slow that is. I don't know if you can get it very well. The lighting on this isn't the best. I'm currently using a pretty old iPad to film this shot. In a minute I'll use the newer camera, but this is just a pretty old iPad I'm using at the moment, so you can't see that much. But that is fantastic. So just going to speed her up a bit more. Stop that. Then we're going to go in reverse. And she runs so smoothly. Really, that is so smooth. That is fantastic. She runs so smoothly. So now I'm obviously going to switch the points and see how she manoeuvres. So just get back down and grab the controller, edge her up. That's the wrong way. Try again. Brilliant. She manoeuvres those points fantastically. We'll stop here. So I'm putting in reverse. She manoeuvres those points brilliantly. That is fantastic. Brilliant. Absolutely excellent. So, performance, it's got to be 5 stars. It is absolutely perfect. Right, so I'm going to continue her reversing and we'll couple up to the coaches and get her running. So So here she comes, just coming around the corner, and I've now switched to the slightly better camera for the rest of the video. The reason I was just using the iPad for that shot is I didn't have anything for this newer camera to sit on, so I had to use the iPad to do that. So here, as I said, here she comes, and these coaches are starting to become quite famous on my channel. It is, of course, the typical PR maroon coaches with the withdrawn coach in blood and custody in the middle. Just stopping her because I'm going to follow her coupling. Now I must admit, when just as she starts off, you hear her releasing steam. It is a bit loud when you're right next to it. Sort of that bit sort of goes right through your ears, but just bringing the coaches closer, and you saw that couple. So that would nicely come. Sorry about the shakiness. I'm currently trying to hold it with one hand. I'm just trying to get the other coupling over. No, nearly. Come on, there we go. So both hooks are coupled up. So let's get her moving. Wrong way. Typical. Right. Attempt 2. So as you can see, she is pulling those coaches with ease. Admittedly, it's only 5 coaches, so it's not the hardest challenge, but it's still pretty nice. And all those pickups are fantastic. 7 going to each rail, 3 on the locomotive and 4 on each side of the tender, making 7 to each track, which makes a total of 14 pickups, which is fantastic. So as I normally do, I'm going to go around the railway, looking at her and filming her with some alternative angles, but obviously I'm not going to do music this time because it is a sound engine, so just enjoy clips of her running with the sound. Hope you enjoyed those various angles. Obviously this time without music, I just had the music of the steam engine, because that is one of the best pieces of music you could ever hear in my opinion. The sounding of steam engine is probably the best music you could ever listen to. But anyway, as always, I'm now going to conclude the video, but first, here are my ratings for the Hornby Lord Nelson class.
So for detail, I'm giving it 4 stars. Overall, the livery is beautifully applied. It's a lovely colour green, and the banding all over the model is really nice, beautifully applied. The only reason I'm marking it down for is, if you remember, the horrible plastic they use for some of their detail. For example, the whistle, the reversing rod, and the piping. If they'd have been done in metal, it would have been much better, and I'll probably give it 5 stars. Mechanism, performance even, 5 stars. Didn't stop at all on point. Brilliant slow speed, brilliant runner. I can't fault it, personally anyway. Mechanism, I've given it 4 stars. 1 star for the 5-pole motor, 1 star for proper bearings, 1 star for all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup, and also tender pickups. The only reason I've marked it down is on the diagram of it doesn't look like it has a flywheel. According to Hornby's website, it doesn't say it has a flywheel. If it does have a flywheel, then comment down below if you know if it has a flywheel, but I don't think it does, judging by what Hornby say. Normally they say 5-pole motor with flywheel or 3-pole motor with flywheel. This time it just says 5-pole skew wound motor. And price, I've given it 4 stars. It's, for me, a reasonable price for sound. Previously in the past, you'd have to pay way over £200 for a steam engine or any sound engine. That's where the TTS comes in. It's a more budget range, but their original TTS, the first ever, which I think was the P2, was only like 150 something. So I think they've raised the prices up a bit since then. But total 17 out of 20, a really good score. And as you can see down the bottom, I've added a little category just for the sound engines, and I've given it 5 stars because it sounds fantastic. So anyway, there are my reviews. If you agree with me, leave a comment down below. If you feel like I could have been harsher, or maybe if I wasn't too harsh, let me know down below. But anyway, let's get on and conclude the video.
So I do hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss another one of my videos. And talk about my other videos, why don't you check out a video that will be up on screen in a moment, and the playlist, and also consider subscribing at the same time. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care everybody.